Couple things before I'm done this week. The Colts, in spite of what happened Monday night, they're not done yet. I was looking at the schedule after the game, and here's what I see. They got New England next week, and they got, I think, San Diego the week after, and Houston the week after that. They need to win 2 of those 3 games. So, wait, I'm sorry. Okay, their next 4 games, they have New England, San Diego, Pittsburgh, and Houston. If they can win 2 of those 4 games, just hold that thought for 1 second. San Diego, worst pass defense in the league right now. Manning, even though he's on the decline right now and having a poor year, should light him up, no problem. San Diego's defense as a whole is pretty bad, and while it should be an offensive shootout, I think they're going to win that game. Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh will probably win, but if Indy can take advantage of Pittsburgh's offensive line issues and the potential injuries that Pittsburgh has in the secondary right now, they might be able to sneak that one out. Houston, they should probably beat Houston. New England next week, unless Dungy is completely mailing in the season, I expect them to win that game. Because you just got a game plan. If you game plan right for New England, you can completely blow them out as long as you have a half-decent team. I really do believe that. Norv Turner game planned for New England and blew them out. Mike Shanahan, it seemed like he didn't, or maybe his team is just that bad, and they got killed. Miami game planned for New England and blew them out. So, if they can win 2 of those 4 games, probably the Houston game and the New England game, if you look at the schedule after those games, they could win out. They could win their last 5 games. The last game against Tennessee will come when Tennessee might be resting starters. They might sit their starters and let Indy take that game in Week 17 in Indy. So, by my calculations, even if they win 1 of the next 4, they'll still be 9-7. They do need a win out at the end of the season, but I believe they can do that. They still are talented enough to do it, and they've proven in previous years that they can string off 10, 12 wins in a row like it was nothing. Why can't they win 5 to close out the season when they're desperate? So that's what I see. The Colts, they're gonna be 5-6 in a month. People will leave them for dead, and then they win out to end the season and wind up as a wild card that nobody wants to play. That's just one man's prediction. That's how I see things shaping up. Indy's not done. Another thing, whoever wins the Week 15 matchup in Baltimore between the Ravens and the Steelers will win their division with a 9-7 or 10-6 record. I look at Baltimore's schedule. They have to play all 4 NFC East teams, and they'll probably lose all 4 of those games. But their other 4 games, I think they play Cleveland and Cincinnati and Houston and somebody else that's a fairly weak team, and they should win all those games. If they take care of their business in those 4 games, and if they do indeed lose to all 4 NFC East teams, which they probably will, they'll be looking at 8-7. So if they beat Pittsburgh, they would be 9-7, and on the other hand, you look at Pittsburgh, they're 5-2 right now, but they have a very nasty schedule to close out the year. They have to play Dallas, they play Washington. I looked over the schedule, I can't remember all the teams, but the only easy wins I saw were Cleveland and Cincinnati. I know they play Indy, which, they'll probably win that game, but still. I think they got San Diego at some point this year, and that's kind of a toss-up. They got a lot of tough games to close out that schedule. So I think it's all going to come down to a Week 15 Ravens-Steelers matchup for the divisional crown, and that's going to be a kick-ass game. Lastly, I got a couple messages from the same person asking me who I like in the Super Bowl. So, You look at the two favorites from the conferences right now. You got Tennessee and you got New York. Those are the sexy picks right now. But from the AFC side, I'm a little wary of the Titans. They've got this good defense, but with the way the rules are structured right now, a good offense can beat a good defense, and an elite offense can beat an elite defense. I think they're going to be a little... they might be vulnerable in the postseason. So I look at the other AFC teams. Buffalo, I don't think they could get it done in Nashville. Denver, no. Indianapolis, if they get in, that's a possibility, but it'll be an uphill battle just to get in the postseason. Who else is going to make... Ravens or Steelers. That would be interesting. Baltimore came very close to beating them. Tennessee... Now, Tennessee would probably beat Pittsburgh, and if they can get anything out of Kerry Collins, would probably beat Baltimore, but that would be fun. And then you got like the Jets. Titans would kick the crap out of the Jets. So the AFC's not that strong right now. So I gotta say that even though I think they're gonna be a little vulnerable in the postseason, I think it's gonna be the Titans from the AFC side. From the NFC side, the Giants, you got the favorites and them. Carolina, I don't know if they're there yet, but they're playing very balanced football. Tampa, no playmakers on offense that I trust to come up in crunch time. Arizona, not ready to make that leap yet. Not ready to make that leap. Dallas, we'll see where they are when Romo gets back. Philly, they need to get Shawn Andrews back, and if they do, they could be a sleeper in the postseason if they get in as a wild card. Nobody wants to play the Eagles with Shawn Andrews back if they get in as a wild card. So really, I look at teams that could knock the Giants off the perch come playoff time. Washington. I don't think New York matches up too well with Washington. I think that's a matchup the Giants are going to win 19 out of 20 times. Just because of the way they match up. It's just how I see things. Who else is there? You got Green Bay, which is interesting, but I think their run defense needs to get better, and I don't even know if they're going to be there. Chicago, their defense needs to get better because it's not monster the midway caliber right now. But they should be there. They're getting a better offense going, and they got the talent on defense. If they get back their secondary healthy, interesting choice. So right now the obvious pick is the Giants and the Titans. Right now I don't smell an upset. I smell upset potential, but I don't smell an upset. So that's my guess right now, but there's plenty of time for that to change. I think Philly is going to come on later in this season and become a sleeper Super Bowl contender as the year goes on. So right now, that's the best guess I have. I'll let you guys know after what I see from some of these teams in a couple weeks. Alright, I'm out. Oh, let me append one more thing to that real quick. Well, a couple more things. World Series. I hate this weather. I hate this rain. This is an awful omen for Philadelphia. I really believe that. Bad mojo. They're about to win. All of a sudden it starts raining. The Rays tie it up when the game should have been called a couple innings before that. And now we got a tie game. I don't like where this is heading. I think they can finish it up tomorrow because they're the better team. I don't like that mojo though. And there are going to be mass suicides in Philadelphia if they blow this series. So hopefully they come on tomorrow if the game is played and take those last 3 innings. Oh, and basketball kicked off tonight. I watched Cavs Celtics, kind of sloppy basketball, but ended up being a good competitive close game. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but basketball's here. I saw some of Lakers Blazers. It's good to be back, and I'm out.